Good morning, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed friends, colleagues, and of course, dear students. Welcome to GEEF 2025, the Global Engagement and Empowerment Forum on Sustainable Development. Since the inception of this forum, it has always been a place to look out for solutions, action, and impact. My name is Monika Fröhler, and I'm the CEO of the Ban Ki-moon Center for Global Citizens.
And my name is Jung-gil Ko, an associate professor here at the School of Integrated Technology at Yonsei University. And it is our pleasure and honor to have you here today and be co-hosts for you on this event here today at Centennial Hall. This year's theme, Time for Action, Bridging Divides for a Sustainable Future, reminds us that meaningful change requires collective commitment. We are here to foster dialogue and drive action on critical global issues, from climate change and gender equity to youth leadership and technological innovation.
Over the next 2 days, we will hear from world leaders, from youth advocates, and also from experts about solutions that turn ambition to action. And we could not have chosen a better venue than Yonsei University, celebrating its 140th anniversary this year.
Now, to officially open GEEF 2025, it is our privilege to invite our esteemed co-hosts to deliver their welcome remarks. Yonsei University has been a leader in academic excellence and global engagement. To share Yonsei's vision for the future, it is now our honor to introduce Professor Dong-sup Yoon, President of Yonsei University. Please welcome President Yoon to the stage.
Esteemed guests, colleagues, and distinguished participants from around the world, it's my distinct honor to welcome you to the Global Engagement and Empowerment Forum 2025. We are deeply honored to have the presence and participation of distinguished leaders and esteemed guests. In an era of turbulence, the pursuit of meaningful, sustainable change must go beyond theory and academia to drive practical and lasting impact. For nearly 140 years, institutions of higher learning have played a vital role in advancing knowledge and shaping global leaders dedicated to the betterment of society. As we navigate all challenges of the 21st century, the role of academia in addressing urgent global issues, climate change, environmental degradation, and social inequality has never been more critical. Our discussions over the next 2 days will focus on bridging divides, both locally and globally, as we forge partnerships, closing gaps in equity and opportunity, and embracing transformative solutions. The urgency of our challenges requires actionable implementation of the SDGs into our curriculum, research, and social endeavor. I am confident that GEEF 2025 will serve as a catalyst for innovative, sustainable, and inclusive progress. By integrating the sustainable development goals into education and research, academic institutions play a vital role in fostering global progress. History has shown that development is driven by collaboration with the nations and institutions supporting each other in shaping future leaders. This journey reflects a broad cycle of global exchange where nations and institutions that once benefited from international support now seek to contribute to others, particularly those on similar developmental paths. Our conference will be heavily focused on action, actionable strategies that are practical, influential, and impactful. And in that sense, drive real change in our social, economic, and political sectors. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all participants. It fills me with great joy to see the academic community coming together to explore solutions for the divides that exist in our country, with researchers from diverse fields collaborating to develop transdisciplinary approaches. Let's seize this moment to act, collaborate, and shape a future that not only empowers Yonsei University, but also unites the global community in our shared pursuit of sustainability and progress. Yonsei invites you to join us on this transformative journey. The time for action is now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Yoon, for your leadership and commitment to sustainability. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to introduce to you His Excellency Ban Ki-moon. He's someone who actually doesn't need an introduction. All of us know him as a distinguished global leader who has dedicated his life to multilateralism and sustainable development. As the 8th Secretary General of the United Nations, he has championed the Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Climate Agreement. And he continues to inspire action through his work with the Ban Ki-moon offices and foundations. Excellency, Ban Ki-moon, the stage is yours.
Honorable Dr. Yoon Dong-seop, President of Yonsei University, Chairperson Ho Dong-soo of the Board of Directors of Yonsei University, Chairman Lee Kyung-yeol of the Yonsei University Alumni University, and Your Excellencies, distinguished ambassadors representing your own countries, thank you for your participation in spite of your very busy schedules. And I'd like to introduce the following persons who have not been able to participate but dispatched their video messages. His Excellency Heinz Fischer, former President of Austria, the Honorable Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, and Honorable Kang Kyung-hwa, President of Asia Society and former Foreign Minister of Republic of Korea, and Dr. Mohamed Yunus, 2006 Nobel Peace Prize laureate, and now currently actual minister, acting as Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and Dr. Denis Mukwege, a 2018 Nobel Peace Prize laureate. And also, we are expecting that Honorable Jim Yong Kim, the 12th President of the World Bank Group, in person when he delivers his speech. And I'd like to also thank all distinguished professors of the IGEE Yonsei University for their hard work and contribution. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to welcome you all to the 2025 Global Engagement and Empowerment Forum, GEEF, on Sustainable Development. Over the years, the Institute of Global Engagement and Empowerment, IGEE, of Yonsei University has successfully organized this forum for promoting the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, SDGs. I have been fully engaged in this meaningful event to support the efforts of the visionaries who initiated this forum. The connections we built and the insight we share today at the GEEF will extend far beyond this forum. The students, policymakers, Nobel laureates, scholars, CEOs, NGOs, and various other stakeholders of the decision-making process gathered here today from all around the world will drive progress towards a more inclusive and sustainable development and sustainable world. This year's theme, Time for Action, Bridging Divides for a Sustainable Future, enlighten us all that every action contributes to the momentum needed to achieve our collective aspirations. No effort is too small, and our future depends on the choices we make today. We have both the resources and knowledge to address some of the most pressing challenges in the history of mankind. Only thing we need to do is our strong will, either political or moral and official, to render our energy and resources to this historic process. We are the first generation with the capability to end extreme poverty, and we might be the last generation with the power to prevent the worst consequences of climate change. As we stand at this inflection point, the world has recognized urgency of action. Just last December, almost all the leaders of the world gathered at the United Nations, and they adopted the Pact for the Future at the Summit of the Future conference organized by the Secretary General of the United Nations. I myself participated in the UN meetings last year. The leaders found that the Sustainable Development Goals during the last 8 years, 7 years, 8 years, have been able to achieve only 17% out of 100%. By 2030, we have how many years now? 5 years more to go, only 17%. That really alarmed the political leadership people of the world. That's why they gathered today at that time and adopted Pact for the Future. They recommitted their strong political will. Now it's in the hands of people and each government and professors, students, men and women. That's why we are gathered here to take action now. This comprehensive agreement, Pact for the Future, includes commitments across several key areas: peace and security, sustainable development, digital cooperation, rights of youth, rights of the women and girls, and our future generations. It is quite significant that for the first time in history, world leaders agreed on a global digital compact, which will work to connect every person, every school and hospital to the internet and ensure that digital cooperation is anchored in human rights and international law. To address global challenges like poverty and climate change, we must create equal opportunities for, whether it's equal access to education, health care, or economic resources. Every person deserves the chance to contribute to the world's future. And bridging these divides is critical for the success of our global mission. Each and every one of us has a role to play in this global movement. The most powerful movement often comes from individuals rather than government. People who have the courage to speak out, take action and challenge the status quo. Together, these individuals' actions can transform the world. Excellencies, the ambassadors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude. As we gather today, let us remember that the road ahead requires all of us, you and me, and all other people. The time for action is not tomorrow. It's today, and it's now. We must bridge divides, empower each other, and be catalysts for change. As we start this forum today, let us remind ourselves that we all have the power to create change. Every and each action, big or small, matters. We must act now together with the determination and the commitment to fairness, equality, and sustainability. Let us close the gaps between and among the people and countries. Let us empower each other, particularly women and girls. Let us be the change makers so that future generations will thank us for. Think about the actions you can take, no matter how small or large, to contribute to this movement. Every effort counts. Together, we can create a more sustainable, more equitable, and more compassionate world. The power is in our hand. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no country in this world, no individual, however rich, however resourceful, however powerful one may be, like the United States, European Union, they cannot do it alone. We must join all our hands on the deck together. That's the lesson which I learned during my term as Secretary General for 10 years. I have traveled almost all the countries around the world. I have visited each and every villages, and I have met every kind of people who are in need. I had to be very sorry to tell you that the world has not been responding to their calls. So let us work today. Let us learn from each other's experience. This is the time now for action. Thank you very much for your contribution. Action. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency Ban, for your inspiring words and unwavering commitment to global sustainability. Thank you. Our next speaker has dedicated his career to diplomacy, democracy, and international cooperation. As the 11th Federal President of Austria, he has been a strong advocate for global citizenship, multilateralism, and human rights. Although he could not join us in person today, he has shared a message with us through a video. Please welcome His Excellency Heinz Fischer.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 7th Global Engagement and Empowerment Forum on Sustainable Development, the GEEF. Though I cannot be with you in person today, I send my warmest greetings from Vienna and from Europe. As co-chair of the Ban Ki-moon Center for Global Citizens, I am proud that you and we are once again co-organizing this important forum, together with Yonsei University and our esteemed partners. GEEF is a vital place for dialogue, collaboration and action, bringing together leaders, experts and change makers to address the pressing challenges of our time. This year's theme, namely Time for Action, Bridging Divides for a Sustainable Future, is both timely and necessary. Around the world, we face growing social, economic, and environmental divides. geopolitical tensions, economic uncertainty, and the worsening climate crisis still threatens global stability, making multilateralism, cooperation, and shared responsibility more important than ever. In particular, the war between Russia and Ukraine, or the war from Russia against Ukraine, the terrible situation in Gaza, and some of the policies of President Trump and his team are also, to put it mildly, not helpful to our global goals and our global responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants, but the SDGs and the readiness for cooperation remains our best roadmap for a more just and sustainable future. But with just a few years left until 2030, progress is far too slow. The time to act is now. It is not enough to talk. We must act, build partnerships, forge solutions, and take concrete steps forward. GEEF always has been about turning dialogue into action. I encourage all of us to use this forum as a platform for impact, to exchange ideas, to inspire one another, and to advance meaningful change for the world. With that, I wish you all a productive and inspiring GEEF 2025. Let us act together with urgency and purpose to bridge divides and build a future that is equitable, inclusive, and sustainable for all. Thank you, and lots of success.
Thank you, Dr. Fischer, for your remarks for the GEEF. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure now to announce that we have received a message from the United Nations itself. A message by the Deputy Secretary General of the UN, Amina J. Mohammed. It is a privilege for us to listen to the steadfast commitment to sustainability and, of course, the SDGs from her.
His Excellency, former Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to join you today, and I thank former Secretary General Ban and Yonsei University for the kind invitation. At a time when our world faces unprecedented geopolitical divides and rising uncertainty, the core principles of multilateralism are being rigorously tested. The challenges before us, from economic instability to climate change, from conflicts to the expanding digital divide, require us to renew our commitment to collective action. This is not a moment to step back, but to rethink, rebuild, and rise to the occasion. It is an opportunity to strengthen global cooperation, fueled by innovation, dialogue, and a shared vision for a more just, inclusive, and sustainable world. Last year at the Summit of the Future, world leaders came together to reaffirm their commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals and multilateralism through the adoption of the Pact of the Future. At the heart of this pact is the Global Digital Compact, which ensures that digital transformation serves all people, not just a privileged few. The compact lays the foundation for universal, affordable internet access, stronger governance of digital platforms, and protections against the misuse of technology. In these times, technology must not deepen inequalities, but must be a force for good. Friends, as we move through 2025, we will encounter key milestones in our journey towards deeper collaboration and partnership. From the Multi-Stakeholder Forum on Science, Technology and Innovation for the SDGs in May in New York, to the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development in June in Spain, and the 2nd World Summit for Social Development in November in Qatar, these are pivotal moments where we can transform our collective resolve into meaningful action. This is where you, leaders, innovators, and changemakers, come in. We need innovation that inspires trust, investment that drives sustainability, and a steadfast commitment to ensuring no one is left behind by the rapid pace of digital technologies. Let us come together, united in purpose, to uphold and strengthen global collaboration and to keep the promise of the 2030 Agenda alive for future generations. I wish you all a productive forum, and I thank you for your unwavering support of the United Nations.
Thank you, Deputy Secretary General Mohammed, for your insightful remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed speakers have reminded us that the urgency to act has never been greater than before. Their unwavering leadership and commitment to a sustainable future serve us as a call to action for us all. Thank you to all our speakers and co-hosts for these powerful words. With that, we will now move on to the next segment of our program.
It is our privilege to introduce the first keynote speaker of today to you, Professor Mohammed Yunus, Chief Advisor of the Interim Government of Bangladesh, Nobel Prize laureate in 2006, and probably known by many of you as a global pioneer in microfinance. Professor Yunus has transformed millions of lives through economic development. And although he could not be with us in person today, he shared his insights with us through a special video message. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Yunus.
His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, His Excellency Dong Suk-yeon, President of Yonsei University, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Kindly allow me to express my sincerest apology for not being able to join the 2025 Global Engagement and Employment Forum for Sustainable Development in person. However, I'm happy to join virtually and be a part of this event. I'm delighted that this year's forum is addressing such a critical issue with the theme, Time for Action, Bridging Divides for a Sustainable Future. I am optimistic that the forum will help us make real progress in shaping our collective efforts towards sustainable and equitable development. It's my firm conviction that the outcome of this forum will serve as a guiding framework in materializing our shared aspirations for inclusive and people-centric development pathways. As it's proven over the years that no development is sustainable unless the policy and actions are put together, keeping people at the center, and prosperity is shared and inclusive. It is widely acclaimed that the leadership of youth and marginalized communities is essential for creating sustainable development outcomes, particularly when the women are empowered with some financial resources along with some basic training and policy guidelines. The development synergy that the country may experience is just enormous. In Bangladesh, what Grameen Bank initiated back in 1976 has now been included in the national development initiatives of many countries to ensure equity and justice, and these are fully driven by women. In my whole journey of life, I personally experienced that youth can do amazing things which are completely beyond the imagination of our generations. In Bangladesh, the young students led a mass uprising last July-August and stood against autocratic and oppressive regime. Now we dare to dream of a new Bangladesh because of the supreme sacrifices of thousands of young students. They stood for freedom and justice based on their profound belief in liberalism, pluralism, and equity. The ethos, wisdom, and courage of Generation Z is the guiding principle of New Bangladesh, depending on which we dream to build an inclusive society to ensure equal opportunities for all. Though it's very hard to accept, but the reality is that the world has failed to ensure climate justice and channel robust resources for climate adaptation and mitigation in the climate vulnerable countries. Without tackling climate crisis collectively, global economy and development agenda can never be sustainable. We must act decisively on this. For the benefit of the majority of global population, the transformative vision of a net zero world has to redeem. I believe the world needs to engage on a shared vision of 3 zeros that we can materialize together, targeting zero poverty, zero unemployment, and zero net carbon emissions. A world where a young person anywhere in the world will have opportunities to grow not as a job seeker, but as an entrepreneur. A world where young people can unleash their latent creativity despite all limitations. Where an entrepreneur can optimally balance social benefits, economic profits, and responsibility towards nature. Where social business can help an individual transcend beyond consumers and can ultimately catalyze in social and economic transformation. Time demands new attitude, new values, new compacts across communities and countries, across developed and developing countries alike, across all actors and stakeholders. If we are to realize such course correction, we, the government, non-government, business, and philanthropists have to work together. If we accept and accommodate social business within existing economic structure, we can bring meaningful changes in the lives of the bottom half of the population in every society. If we can realistically position social business, we can stem much of climate incentive distortions within the existing market economy. We should renew our commitment from today that our actions and policies must bridge the divides and the gaps. It is the call of our shared journey to sustainable future for our next generation. It's our decision whether you take side with equity-based society or continue your usual action that widens the gaps. If our commitment and firm action can inspire the youth, women, children, and the marginalized people to have a dream of equity and justice, then our development initiatives will be sustainable. Rest assured that Bangladesh will continue to deliver its policies and actions to secure peace, prosperity, justice for everyone. Once again, I would like to thank my friend, His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, and all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Yunus, for showing us the power of grassroots action in building sustainable communities. Our next distinguished speaker has also transformed lives in a profound way. We're honored to introduce Dr. Denis Mukwege, the 2018 Nobel Peace Prize laureate, whose groundbreaking work has been a beacon of hope for survivors of violence worldwide. Dr. Mukwege has truly hoped to join us today, but at the last moment he felt the need to remain with his patients at Panzi Hospital in the Democratic Republic of Congo. As a medical doctor, he is committed to providing care during this critical time of internal conflict in his country. His dedication of healing and supporting survivors of violence is a testament to his commitment to both his patient and his mission. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Mukwege, who is sharing his message with a video today.
The Democratic Republic of the Congo, a country rich in natural beauty, yet challenged by decades of conflict. Millions have suffered, especially women, facing violence and exploitation in the ongoing crisis. Dr. Denis Mukwege, a dedicated doctor, has spent his life working to heal the women affected by this violence. At Panzi Hospital, he provides both medical care and emotional support to survivors of sexual violence. For over 20 years, Dr. Mukwege's Pansy Hospital has treated over 50,000 women. His hospital is a sanctuary for those who have endured the worst atrocities, offering them hope and a chance at rebuilding their lives. Dr. Mukwege's tireless work has earned him global recognition, including the Nobel Peace Prize in 2018. He is a leading voice in the fight for women's rights and peace, advocating for justice on the world stage. In the DRC, violence continues, and many women still suffer in silence. But there is hope. Dr. Mukwege continues his mission, and together we can make a difference.
Mr. Ban Ki-moon, as Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Dong Sap-yoon, President of Yonsei University, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to apologize for being unable to take part in person at this 7th edition of the Global Engagement and Empowerment Forum on Sustainable Development at the Yonsei University due to the acute crisis that is ongoing in my country, the Democratic Republic of Congo. In a world at a crossroads where geopolitical rivalries threaten our future, the theme chosen for this forum, Time for Action, Bridging Divides for a Sustainable Future, has captured our attention. It highlights the pressing challenges of our time and invites us together to change the course of events. The system of collective security and global protection of human rights established after the horrors of the Second World War has never been so tested. As we approach the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, the international order is being challenged and respect for human rights is being regressed throughout the world. As in all times of crisis, it's women and children who are the first victims. While the UN Charter was based on sovereign equality between states and the principle of prohibiting the use of force, establishing a world order based on the rule of law, international law is being flouted every day. The global consensus on democracy, the rule of law, and human rights seem to be crumbling under the growing weight of authoritarian and oligarchic regimes. Indeed, in a growing number of situations, the powerful seek to impose their will over the force of the law. The result is in dangerous weakening the rule of law, both nationally and internationally. Heads of state and government disregard the basic principles of international law. They flout conventions relating to human rights and international humanitarian law on a daily basis and ignore the decisions of the International Court of Justice. Furthermore, The frequent application of the principle of double standards illustrates the cynicism and hypocrisy of international diplomacy. This contributes to further undermining the credibility of the political world and institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, this brief overview of the state of the world is worrying and full of uncertainties. The sources of division are numerous between economically advanced countries and developing countries, between the global north and the global south, between liberal democracies that inspire trust and authoritarian dictatorships that spread fear, between those who advocate for law and truth and those who opt for force and disinformation. Moreover, while the fragmentation of the world has long been modeled on geography, it's clear that new divisions are emerging and changing international relations, particularly within the Western world. These divisions open the way to a likely reconfiguration of alliances and other forms of partnership between countries and regional blocs. Humanity and the planet are facing various existential threats, including the climate crisis, the proliferation of nuclear weapons, pandemics, and numerous conflicts. In the face of these global challenges that concern us all, it is worth remembering that the interdependence between countries and peoples has never been greater. We cannot stand by and accept the slow death of multilateralism based on the rule of law and respect for human rights. Moreover, a new global governance capable of responding to the major challenges of the contemporary world is slow to be established. There is therefore an urgent need to act with determination to bridge existing gaps and build bridges to lay the foundations for sustainable and united future. Such a process should be done through policies of equity, inclusion, and diversity, because above all, it is necessary to ensure that no one is sidelined or excluded. Indeed, respect for human rights for all must be part of the solution. It is in the context that the imperative of reforming or even renovating the international system was at the heart of the debates of the 79th United Nations General Assembly. On the occasion of the Summit for the Future, the Secretary General rightly stated that we cannot shape the future of our grandchildren with a system designed for our grandparents. The adoption of the Pact for the Future is a step in the right direction to reform and strengthen the multilateral system in order to face the existential threats and challenges the 21st century. This imperative of reform aimed at restoring citizens' confidence in global institutions will have to through a reform of the Security Council and international financial institutions. In addition, better representation of developing and emerging countries within international decision-making bodies will have to put an end to the marginalization of Africa.
Thank you, Dr. Mukwege, for your very moving and powerful message. His unwavering dedication to justice, to women, to healing and human rights continues to be a beacon of hope for communities worldwide. We are now entering into an awards ceremony, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Ban Ki-moon International Fellowship and Outstanding Research Awards that will be dedicated to amazing individuals. We celebrate extraordinary people that are dedicated to the Sustainable Development Goals. The Ban Ki-moon International Fellowship Outstanding Research Award recognizes those who are pioneering innovative solutions for the future. So please join me again, dear Excellency Ban Ki-moon, on the stage, and also dear President Dong Sop-yun, 20th President of Yonsei University, to present the awards.
First, the Ban Ki-moon International Fellowship for Sustainable Development is a prestigious initiative designed to foster future leaders with global citizenship awareness who are committed to advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Please give a warm welcome to Avrati Sant, a master's student from the Department of English, Language and Literature at Yonsei University, the awardee of the Ban Ki-moon International Fellowship for Sustainable Development. Originally from India, Avrati is deeply involved in community service, volunteering as a teacher at Akrakshan and teaching English to children at the Isak Orphanage in Uijeongbu, South Korea. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon will now present the award to Avrati Sant. President Dong Sop-yun will now present the congratulatory flowers to Avrati Sant.
Thank you very much. Next, we are delighted to welcome the recipients of the 2025 Ban Ki-moon Outstanding Research Award. Hua Lee, Best Award winner of the Ban Ki-moon Outstanding Research Award and PhD student at the Department of Industrial Engineering at Yonsei University.
Hyun Seung-yuk, 2025 Ban Ki-moon Outstanding Research Excellence Award winner and PhD candidate at the Department of Agriculture and Architectural Engineering at Yonsei University. And Seo Eun-oh, 2025 Ban Ki-moon Outstanding Research Excellence Award winner, PhD candidate at the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at Yonsei University.
Round of applause for them. We are happy that we introduced the Ban Ki-moon Graduate Student Research Award to recognize and support outstanding academic work that aligns with the mission of the Sustainable Development Goals. After a thorough review, we are proud to announce that these 3 graduate students were selected for the prestigious award. Their research projects are exemplary commitments to addressing global challenges and advancing the SDGs.
Congratulations once again.
Another round of applause. We congratulate all the recipients of the prestigious 2025 Ban Ki-moon Outstanding Research Award, recognizing their exceptional academic excellence, dedication to research, and contributions to innovative global solutions. Thank you, Secretary General Ban, and thanks President Dong Sop-yun for presenting the awards.
As a final program of the morning session, we would like to invite everyone to join us for a brief photo session. We would kindly ask all speakers of the opening ceremony to come forward to the stage and kindly ask that all guests check their name cards. This finalizes the group photo for GEEF 2025. If all our guests and speakers could return to their seats.
As this is the final segment of this morning session, we would like to invite everyone to join us for lunch. And actually, we are very eager to see you again back this afternoon at sharp 12:30. The speakers are invited, only those that have the invitation. Please come to the Choi Young Hall in the Commons. See you back at 12:30.
Thank you.